Last season, Charlton headed south out of the Championship. Brentford took a trip north as champions of League Two. Today, the Bees of West London travel east to the Valley, and both have started their League One campaign on the right track. From Premier League to League One in just 3 seasons, but 5 wins out of 5 signals Charlton's best start to a season in history. The recovery, they hope, is on. Brentford have also started well, a rapid rise for them under Andy Scott. They're unbeaten, and they've already faced 2 other relegated sides in Southampton and Norwich. Perhaps, though, this their biggest test yet. Live from Coca-Cola League One, we're at the Valley for Charlton Brentford on Sky Sports 1 in high definition as well, HD1 channel 408. Charlton leading the way then in League One, but Leeds have also made a perfect start. They face Stockport later. MK Dons and Huddersfield meet each other today. And for Colchester, a new manager in Adi Boothroyd, they start under him at Southampton. Brentford then in 6th, could go as high as 3rd if they were to win here at the Valley. Very good afternoon to you. You know, it took Charlton until January last season to win 5 games. This time they've managed it before the end of August. It's no wonder everyone here is smiling again, including our guest today. Dean Kiely, bit of a legend in these parts, top keeper. 250 appearances or thereabouts. Most of those, you have to say, in the Premier League as well. String of fine saves earned him his reputation. And, well, they don't make him like that anymore, do they? At least that's what he tells me. And, Dean, you've also been telling me as well that that's really when the rot set in for Charlton, when they sold people like you 3.5 years ago.
Well, I'm glad you said that. I'm sure I can't say that. But, no, I mean, it's great to be back. I mean, if I'd only been on the turf, I'd have bought my boots because I can't, nothing but smiles when I come back to this place. It was an amazing for me, a great, part of my career.
I'm not sure you'd get a game right now, Dean, because they're flying. How pleased are you to see the start they've made?
Well, it's great. I mean, the disappointment of them playing in League One, I mean, I think everybody around the club is stung by that. But, certainly, I think throughout the pre-season, the theme must have been to bounce back and start well, and they certainly have done. And at the moment, I think they're winning games and they're flying.
It was always known as a well-run club, wasn't it, Charlton, behind the scenes as well. Could those days be about to coming back?
Well, I mean, you seem to hear about a possible takeover and that it's imminent. And I think reading between the lines, maybe the fact that they haven't sold players and have to sell players, and we've seen John Joe Shelby signing an extension to his contract, maybe says that that's about to happen, and that can only be stable for the club, and maybe, that certainly Charlton can kick on from there if they were in place soon.
Yeah, rumour has it on John Joe Shelby that Charlton actually knocked back a bid from Chelsea. He is just 17 years old, the youngest player in Charlton's history, the youngest scorer in Charlton's history. How good could he become, Dean, from what you're hearing around these parts?
Well, certainly I played in the Charlton side when Scott Parker and Paul Konchesky burst onto the scene, and they played with a youthful exuberance and their enthusiasm, and he's certainly a top player. And I think, like you say, to have interest by all them top clubs tells you something. But for me, I think he needs a season playing week in, week out, scoring goals and playing well, and to enhance his reputation. So this is a good place to do it, certainly.
Rumour has it he's already smashed the Pro Zone stats for the amount of ground covered in a game as well. So watch out for that today. Here must be a very relieved Phil Parkinson with Greg Whelan.
Phil, the news has broken today that John Joe Shelby's just signed a 1-year contract extension. What message do you feel that sends out about the direction this club's going in?
Yeah, what we said all along, we wanted to keep our best players, and John Joe is certainly one of our best players, and it's a key signing for us. Throughout the transfer window, obviously we've been looking to add to the squad, but the big concern was, could we keep hold of all our best players? And we've managed to do that. But not only that, we've extended John Joe's contract, and we want John Joe to be part of things for many years to come at Charlton. And it's a sign that he really wants to.
As a manager, you know what it takes to get out of this particular division. You've done it with Colchester. What do you feel is the key?
Well, first of all, you've got to work hard as a team. You've got to have a good spirit amongst the group. You've got to roll your sleeves up every game and compete for every ball, which we've been stressing at the players. And when we do that, I know we've got quality to get the ball down and play. But first and foremost, it's the work ethic of the team, which counts for a lot in this division.
4 of your summer signings are in the starting lineup today. What do you feel are the chief strengths of this current team?
Well, we brought in, like I say, 4, 5, 6 players with a window just closed, and there's a freshness in the training ground, which is important after you've had the season we had. And all the lads who've come in are excellent characters, and that's very important. There's a real hunger around the training ground, which I think is key to success of any team. So all those ingredients added together, hopefully we can have a good season. We've had a good start, and we're hoping to build on that today.
Phil, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Perfect start then for Phil Parkinson in this league. It took him 11 games to get his first win as manager last season in caretaker charge. How relieved will he be?
Yeah, I mean, certainly, he's very disappointing last season, and there was a downward spiral, and he certainly couldn't stop it, and it's difficult. But I think as well the players feel a responsibility because they were all part of what happened here last year. So I think maybe there's a galvanised spirit between the players, and certainly now they know the theme of what they need to do, and it's bounced back at the first attempt, because I think if you get stuck in this league, it's very, very difficult. I think Leeds have shown that.
And at the moment, their goals are coming from all parts of the pitch. Only Huddersfield have scored more than them. Nicky Bailey, the top scorer last season, and already this as well. 3 goals from midfield. Dion Burton plays as a lone striker in this formation. 2 goals so far this season, none yet here at the Valley. Miguel Llera, big centre-half signed from MK Dons, imposing at set pieces as well. He's got 2 goals already. And Lloyd Sam adding 2 from midfield last week at Tranmere. His first goal since January 2008. What does that tell you about a team, Dean, that are scoring goals from all parts of the pitch?
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly a help. I think, listen, Charlton are a strong side in this division, so I expect the goals to be free-flowing this season, and certainly from all departments. But, they're strong at the back. They've got a free-flowing midfield, lots of enthusiasm in there, and good experience up front. So all throughout the season, they should be causing problems all the season.
We certainly shouldn't ignore their opponents today as well. Brentford promoted last season, the first season for Andy Scott as manager, and unbeaten this. It's a terrific start for them.
Yeah, well, they come the other way. Obviously, Charlton have been falling downwards, but they come with momentum coming up through the divisions, and I think that's good as well for them, because they'll come into this division, people will ask questions, can they play at this level, and Andy Scott will use that as a weapon, I think, for his players to say, let's show and surprise a few people.
Well, let's hear from Andy Scott. Here he is with Greg Whelan.
Andy, 5 games in, you're still unbeaten. How well do you feel you've all acclimatised to life in League One?
It's been tough. We've had some really tough games. We played Norwich at home and Southampton away, so it's been a real test for the boys, but we've come through it very, very well, and it's another one today that's going to really test how far we've come from last year.
In what ways do you feel today will test you?
Well, yeah, they're a Premier League club, the standing, the budget, the players they've got, and we are come up from League Two, but we've got the confidence, we've got the momentum from last year. They're very good players, are unbeaten, won every game in the league. So we know it's going to be a tough one. We knew that before the start of the season, but their start has really proved that.
Where do you feel the chief threat comes from in this Charlton side today?
They got a lot of them, set pieces. They're very dangerous. Scored a few against Wickham. Joe Shelby, makes them tick. A very good young player. Dion Burton's plenty of experience, and they got goals coming from all over the pitch. So we're going to have to be very, very careful.
Thanks very much, Andy.
Okay.
Not a bad achievement, is it, for a first job for such a young man as well?
Yeah, I played with Andy at Bury for a short time, and he's very studious, very thoughtful, and he's got his side playing really, really well. And like I say, the momentum helps. So regardless of what division, they're used to winning games in a league lower, and they come up and they bring that with them. So I think they'll be decent this year.
They've had a big overhaul of players as well. Just 3 survived today from the last game of last season. Does that surprise you then, the start they've made, given those big changes?
No, I don't think so, because you can be maybe sentimental and stick with the players that have got you there, but I think you can keep that spine and the nucleus around, but I think you have to keep evolving and keep bringing and making your side better, and he's certainly done that, I think.
What sort of game would you expect then here today, Dean? The crowd will obviously be behind Charlton. Will they go for it from the off?
I think so. I mean, I haven't seen them live, but I think the theme seems to be that they really strangle the life out of teams and put teams on the back foot. So I think they'll fly out the blocks, Charlton, but Brentford have to withstand that. But I think there'll be a free-flowing open game, certainly, and obviously I'd like to see a lot of goals.
We hope for lots of goals. They scored 4 last week at Tranmere without reply, but Brentford have been very solid so far, as we said. Both teams putting their unbeaten records on the line here this afternoon in the early kick-off at the Valley. Let's get across to our match commentators then. Scott Minto and Ian Dark.
Yep, the good times back at the Valley, and Charlton have played the same starting 11 in every league match so far, and with a 100% record, they see no reason to change today. Right back Fraser Richardson was a doubt with a groin problem, but he's okay. 17-year-old John Joe Shelby is already being scouted by Premier League clubs, but the signing of the experienced Scottish international Christian Daly has been important too. Brentford haven't won at the Valley since the year the Queen was born, 1926. The good news for them is that defender Mark Phillips has passed a late fitness test on an injured ankle. It really was touch and go for him. Alongside him is James Wilson, rushed back from Swansea, where he was with the Welsh under-21 squad last night. Happily for Brentford, he didn't actually play in that game. And Brentford also the latest port of call for Carl Court. The Charlton bench includes another exciting striker, 17-year-old Tamir Tuna, and deadline signing Sam Sodje on the bench as well. Brentford's top scorer last season, Charlie McDonald, an ex-Charlton trainee, back on the bench after 6 months out injured. Well, it's not really a League One ground, this. It's a picture. It's a lovely day. And former Charlton player Scott Minto alongside me. This ought to be a good game between two unbeaten sides.
I'm really looking forward to this game, Ian. You know, the conditions are perfect. It's a nice sunny day. I've just looked at the pitch. Looks really good, conducive to playing really good football. These Charlton fans will be delighted with the start they've had so far. 5 wins out of 5. And, of course, it's always that. You wonder what's going to happen from the previous season. Would there be a little bit of a carryover? That's not been the case here. I think Phil Parkinson's done extremely well. He's not been able to actually buy anyone, but he's brought a lot of free transfers in, and as you mentioned a few there, they've played an integral part. We might have to say it's still at a very early part of the season so far.
It's a great day for Brentford as well. This is the third of the relegated sides that they've played, and they've done okay so far after coming up from League Two last season. They beat Norwich, they drew at Southampton with a late goal from one of their new signings, Cleveland Taylor. And, well, they come here today full of hope and with their confidence rising after a very good start to the season. They're an energetic, well-organised side, Brentford.
They are, and it just goes to show, I think Andy Scott is a young manager who feels that he needs to be a little bit ruthless, and he could have been a little bit sentimental in the last season and kept a few players. He didn't want to do that. He wanted to kick on to the next level, and I saw them play a couple of weeks ago against Norwich, and they completely outplayed them. Very impressed with how they played. Very high-tempo game, so I think two sides unbeaten, playing with a lot of confidence, expecting a very good game here.
But Charlton Athletic, what a change in mood from last season. All doom and despair as they tumbled out of the Championship and into League One. The first time they've played at this level for 29 seasons. But their average crowds way back then were just 7,000 in this division, and I reckon it might be 10,000 up on that today. Best part of it anyway. Football boom, I guess. You can almost feel the nerves in that tunnel, can't you? Looking at the players, you must know that.
Well, I always enjoy looking at the players beforehand in the tunnel as well, just seeing whether they are nervous, whether they're looking forward to the game or a little bit apprehensive. But I think both teams, as we've said beforehand, should be really looking forward to this game, playing with a lot of confidence. Charlton get the ball down and play, Brentford a little bit more direct.
Brentford's biggest test yet. Can Charlton continue their best ever start to a league season? How good is this side in what is an attractive division this year? Splendid scene here at the break. 100% Charlton at home to unbeaten Brentford, and it's coming up for you live in just a moment.
Live Football League action coming your way from the Valley. A London derby, Charlton and Brentford both unbeaten in League One as well. Your match commentators Scott Minto and Ian Dark.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Dave. It's like a midsummer's day here, really. The sun's streaming down on this part of southeast London. It's the first time these two sides have met in a league match for 17 seasons. Remember last season, they were 2 divisions apart. Brentford promoted, Charlton relegated. But Charlton top of the table, 100%, 5 out of 5, and with a goal difference of 10 already. Brentford arriving confident, and Wilson going down there. Foster coming forward, and already player down injured for Charlton Athletic. The play will have to be pulled back. I think that might be a head knock, which is why the referee was quick on the case.
Yeah, you can just see just two guys going for it. It's completely accidental, but Nicky Bailey caught there. Of course, Nicky Bailey scored 3 goals already this season. Playing on the left-hand side. You can see that the way that Samido and Terry O'Connor have been playing, that he's got to be playing on the side somehow. But just on the left-hand side, and it suits him. I know he actually quite enjoys just coming in off the left and trying to score the goals, and that's certainly what he's been doing this season.
Yeah, I think they like that idea, Scott. And of course, he was top scorer at Southend before he came here as well. So it's almost Frank Lampard type scoring, really, from Bailey in the lower divisions. I think they've had 1 or 2 inquiries, but nothing more than that during the window for him.
Well, maybe it was a little bit of surprise. He was the player of the year last season, scored 13 goals, and you wondered with them going down, he'd be one of the players to go. But they managed to keep hold of him, and I think he's carried on the form of last season.
It's Lira winning the header. He's wearing that head guard because he's got 12 stitches and a head wound from a previous game, and the cup keeps reopening. O'Connor does well under pressure in midfield. Wood with the diagonal ball forward. The offside flags up. Brentford not to be underestimated. We're saying this is Brentford's biggest test. It might be Charlton's as well.
Well, I think you're right. I think the start of the season they played very well against Wycombe, but in the end ended up almost drawing the game. And I think I was speaking to quite a few Charlton fans and also a few of the staff here, and last season they were saying they would have drawn that game, perhaps even have lost it. I think that gave them a little bit of an impetus to actually kick on. You can see now 5 wins out of 5, and they're enjoying themselves.
Away by Wood. Players come from non-league football to make it in the Football League, can play either position on the left back, left midfield. He's playing left back today because Dixon is out injured, Ryan Dixon at the moment, as is Alan Bennett, another of the regulars usually for Brentford. He was injured in the Norwich game 3 weeks ago and hasn't managed to get back yet. Healthy looking crowd here at the Valley. Plenty of Brentford fans have made the short journey too. Flick round the corner by Sam. Here's Shelby's first involvement. It's good too, wasn't it? Now Lloyd Sam. He scored 2 last week at Tranmere. Twisting, turning. Great bit of work there towards Burton. What an important piece of defending that was by Phillips.
Well, great play again, and that's what Shelby can do. Just playing off Dion Burton. Laid in Lloyd Sam. Has been one of Charlton's best players so far. Great ball in. Dion Burton just couldn't get on the end of that. Great defending that.
Well, there was our first sight of why Charlton have been such a potent force so far this season. Terrific work by Shelby and Sam down the right-hand side. Here comes the corner kick. Back in by Racon. Here's Sam again. Survivor of the Premier League days here. Didn't get much of a look in that era, but he did play 10 times. Usually Dennis Romadal or Darren Ambrose was keeping him out. Just a kid then, but an important player now for Charlton. Dion Burton. And then Cleveland Taylor. The summer arrivals from Carlisle, where he was player of the year last year. It's interesting, Scott, that they're playing Cleveland Taylor on the right and Sam Saunders on the left. Those two could easily switch over, couldn't they?
I think we'll be seeing that happening today, Ian. I mean, I've seen Sam Saunders play on the right-hand side this season. I thought he was exceptionally well, trying to get crosses in. Of course, if you're playing on the left-hand side as a right footer, you're always cutting inside, and that's something that Fraser Richardson, the right back of Charlton, will have to watch out for. But I'll see both of them interchanging between the two today.
Kelly Yuga. Brentford looking to get that inside for Nicky Bailey. Bailey needs no second invitation to get into the penalty area and into forward positions. Well, different times now for Phil Parkinson. He was telling me last night, you remember scoring on his debut for Bury against Brentford, and his last game as a professional was Reading being promoted at Griffin Park, so he's got good memories of clashes with Brentford. Will that still be the case in about 2 hours' time, I wonder?
Well, I think you're right, Ian, in saying that this is the biggest test so far for Charlton. Andy Scott been really impressed with him as a manager, and also the way his team has been playing so far at the start of the season. Maybe there were a few players who were thinking, am I good enough for this level? And after 5 games, I think they'd be saying, I know I'm good enough for this level.
They were the League Two champions last year. Here's Fraser Richardson, who's arrived from Leeds United. Bit of Premier League experience from him as well as Christian Daly at the back there, and Daly trying to check the run of Weston here. He's an old teammate of yours, isn't he, Christian Daly?
He is, yeah. I was having a chat with him before the game, and he's literally one of the fittest professionals in football. He really will go on till he's 38, 39, 40, and he loves the game. Some people fall out of love with the game in their early 30s. He doesn't. He absolutely loves it. He wants to carry on as long as possible. That's it. He was talking about how much he's enjoying the training and the matches as well. It's a great move for him.
And model pro Christian Daly.
He's so versatile as well, isn't he? He can play centre-half, right back, left back, anywhere in midfield as well. So he's a big addition for Charlton.
He might not want to do the midfield bit quite so much these days.
No, maybe not. Well, if you've got the likes of Nicky Bailey and John Joe Shelby around you, they can be the legs.
Yeah, absolutely. Charlton not the only 100% side in this division. Of course, Leeds United have made a wonderful start as well. Phillips getting it away. He was a huge doubt for this fixture. Has hardly trained all week with an ankle injury, Phillips, but he's made it. Whether he lasts the 90 minutes, we'll wait and see. They do have a 17-year-old Ryan Blake among the substitutes, who's never seen any league action at all so far for Brentford. Young defender. Carly Osborne could come in as well if there was a problem. This is up towards Dion Burton. Beaten in the air by Wilson. Here's Shelby. Semedo feeding it wide. Here's Lloyd Sam. They're giving him plenty of the ball down there, and you can see why. Little push, I think, by Dion Burton in mid-air.
Yeah, a good play again from Charlton down the right-hand side. Lloyd Sam, again, just coming inside on his left foot. A decent cross, maybe a little bit too much flighted. I think it's got to be coming in with a little bit of a lower trajectory, really, because we know that Brentford, the back four, are pretty big. They won't be conceding too many goals on set pieces this season.
Two very fit sides as well. Andy Scott was telling me he thought Brentford were the fittest side in League Two, and they were the side that ended up with the most points in the Division 2, of course. Free kick to Brentford.
Of course, one thing that Charlton have to do as well with playing this formation with just Shelby just playing off Dion Burton is not lump long balls up to them, because the two centre-halves will love that. It's important they get Shelby and the likes of Semedo and Terry Rakan, who's a very good footballer, passing little triangles between them, trying to tire out the Brentford midfield, and maybe in the second half making the most of that.
Weston. Corner kick from a player who is that rarity, actually cost a fee in a lower division move from Notts County for 25 grand, rising to over 100 if he makes enough appearances. Not that Notts County need the money, apparently. Saunders with the corner, away by Fraser Richardson for Charlton. To get any services yet to Carl Court, but here's Saunders trying to engineer something now. Bit of fizz on it, too near the goalie.
Well, that's what he's going to do. He's going to come inside, he's going to whip those balls in, and Kelly Hugo, the left back, is going to have to be very careful with that. So Cleveland Taylor, he's very good in the air, and I think that's something that Sam Saunders will be looking for.
A long diagonal ball is aimed towards Lloyd Sam. It's let him in. Burton! He scored! Big mistake there at the back by Brentford, and Charlton Athletic keep up their record of scoring in every game so far. It took a deflection on the way in, but Burton tried getting that one off him.
No, definitely Burton's goal, and we've seen this quite a few times at the Valley. Miguel Jerry's only been here since the start of the season, but a great cross-field pass, always looking out for Lloyd Sam. And I can tell you, as a left-back, that's a horrible ball. You know the guy's behind you, what do you do? Try and head it back to the keeper, or just maybe head it out for a corner. He went back to the keeper, wasn't enough on it. Still showed a lot of good composure, because he could have gone for it himself. He didn't, cut the ball back. And Burton there, trying to take it first time, a good finish. There's no way you'd be getting that goal off him, Ian.
Burton's goal, Charlton ahead. The good times continue. Bit of a nightmare for left-back Sam Wood, I'm afraid, for Brentford, that.
Important the reaction now, isn't it, from Brentford? They've gone a goal down. We know how well Charlton have been playing. I think Brentford still have that confidence. They've been unbeaten so far, and I think maybe set pieces, long throws, that type of thing, their best chance of getting involved back in the game.
That's exactly what they've got now. Saunders to play it in, and there was too much pushing for the referee's liking there. Just a nice little break early on in the piece as well, just what they wanted.
It's a great start, isn't it? I'll be delighted with that. As I say, Miguel Jerez is a big centre-half, left-footed, but he's always been looking, in the 5 games they've played so far, for that ball to Lloyd Sam. Even if it doesn't go immediately to them, it always puts pressure on the defender.
Sam with the head, he's looked very lively so far. No doubt those 2 goals last week at Tranmere have given him a boost at a timely moment in his career. It was the first time he'd scored for 20 months as well. Maybe there'll be a flood of them. He was so alert there to seize on the mistake and set up Burton for the goal. Daly wins the header. Foot up by Carl Court, that's why there's a free kick. Needs a goal, Carl Court. He's only on a 5-month contract at Brentford, having left Norwich.
Yeah, he'll feel he's got a point to prove, won't he, to himself more than anyone else. Of course, he's been having a lot of injuries. He's been a very good player in his time, but he'll feel that he needs to get back to scoring goals.
Hugo. Nicky Bailey for Charlton. And they've let that run, and this time Sam doesn't attack it. But it seemed to be a moment of indecision.
Just need to steady the ship for a couple of minutes, don't they? Charlton, if they get that second goal, you feel will go on and win the game. Very important from Brentford's point of view. Just make sure don't concede. And try and get on the ball a little bit. I haven't really seen them get the ball down and pass it.
Court does well. Cleveland Taylor, Weston, Saunders. Nice build-up play that by Brentford. One touch stop. They still might get something out of this as well. They want a penalty kick for that as Taylor goes down in the box. It didn't look one, in all honesty. There's Saunders again. He's very quick feet and scored 14 for Dagenham and Redbridge last season. Saunders is definitely one to watch.
Yeah, not a pen for me. Just a 50-50, really. He's run into him. I think Kelly Hugo just being very strong. Very rarely see them given.
Hunt's long throw. It's a prodigious one, isn't it? Almost Delap-like. Good response from Brentford, isn't it?
It's been a very good response. That's what I said. That's what Andy Scott will be looking for. A mistake. We know that. What can they do now over the next few minutes? Make sure, one, they don't concede, and obviously try and get on the ball. And with David Hunt with his throws and Sam Saunders with his free kicks and corners, there's always a good chance they can nick one.
Phillips is up from the back as well here. Caught with the header. Phillips might be able to get on the end of this. Everybody looks around to see where it dropped. Charlton smuggle it away. And now they might be able to break as well. Here's caught. Now Thierry Racon. Sam won't be able to keep that in play, will he? Yes, he does.
Well, you can see that Charlton are thinking that he's the danger man, he's the guy who can provide the sparks, and we've seen that already with the goal. It looks like whenever he's on the ball, something's going to happen. The crowd get excited. It's always a sign that a player's in form.
Here's Lira, Spaniard who was with MK Dons last season, towards Burton. Have their work cut out here. Brentford already behind, and Charlton have only let in 3 goals so far in their 5 league games. It looked like handball, was it? Optical illusion, perhaps. Bailey. Worth remembering here that Brentford have only lost 1 of their last 10 away games last season, and this up towards court, flags up here.
Well, Sam, we're disappointing for him. He's not actually a left back. He can play in that position, of course, but he's predominantly a midfielder, and you can just see he's caught in 2 minds. What do I do? So try and head it back to the keeper and keep possession, or just head it out for maybe a corner. Obviously made the wrong decision there. Just goes to show how well Lloyd, Sam and Dion Burton are playing there, because that was clinical finishing.
Sadko Wood, who was Brentford's player of the year last season, has done really well since coming out of non-league football to play for Brentford. Semedo. Now Racon. Those 2 in the engine room for Charlton. Bailey around the corner, doesn't pick up Yuga's run. Not good enough service for Miles Weston, who's Carl Court's strike partner up there for Brentford. Andy Scott, only 37 years of age. He might still be playing, but his career was ended rather sadly by injury at the age of 33. And also a heart condition as well. Doctors said it would be better for him to hang up the boots than risk it. Fraser Richardson, picked up by James Wilson, who had a late night dash from Swansea overnight. Brentford booked him a hotel room, got him to bed as quickly as they could. Just as well he didn't play at all for the Wales under-21s last night. Would have been asking a bit much to appear here the next lunchtime. Cleveland Taylor here for Brentford. It's going to be another long throw special here from Hunt. Shelby signed a new 1-year contract, the Charlton protege, from one end of the pitch to the other. That's not a bad effort, that, from Lewis Price. That could have been that rarity, a goalkeeper's goal. He knows it.
I think he was hoping for a gust of wind there at the last moment, wasn't he? It was a great strike.
On another day. I think Rob Elliott would have never lived it down, would he? Beaten by the other goalie. Two keepers might share a little joke about that one. I think when they go down the tunnel at half-time, all part of the union.
Well, it is. It's a great strike, isn't it? I think at one moment Rob Elliott was thinking, backtracking there, as he's going over my head. Of course, he'll be saying he was calm, composed, and knew exactly what was happening.
I'm not sure what price with Ladbrokes Lewis Price was for first goal scorer. It'd have been second anyway, but even to get one. Now then, can Taylor get on the end of that? No, he can't. Miguel there as they got to the playoffs in this division with the MK Dons last season. A misunderstanding between him and Bailey. It's all okay in the end. Fraser Richardson tries to pick up Sharvey's run. Because the problem for young Sharvey, even at 17, is in this division he's already a marked man, isn't he?
Yeah, and also there's a lot of responsibility being on that role of just behind the front man. You need to be one of your best players. Of course, we know he is, but people forget he's still only 17. But to have a 4-4-1-1 formation and you are that guy just playing off the striker, that's a lot of responsibility and pressure for someone who's so young. He seems to be able to handle it well.
Apparently loves his football. His manager says he'd sleep with his boots on if he could and play 24 hours a day just about. Almost a Rooney-like love of the game.
It's refreshing, isn't it?
Yeah. Doesn't look 17, does he? Looks a bit older than that.
Chris Daly was saying he doesn't act 17 either. He acts like a 30-year-old, and you can see that he's got a big, big future ahead of him. Not just what he does on the pitch, but off the pitch also.
Well, behind early Brentford, but quite a robust response from them since. What happened to this club last season when they did so well in League Two and how they've started in League One? There's a lot of belief about their ability to get back into games and overcome setbacks. And maybe we're seeing that early on here. Cut out by Nicky Bailey. Hunt. Sam Saunders. Corner.
Well, it has been an excellent response from Brentford since the goal, hasn't it? Long throws, plenty of corners. I have to say that the quality hasn't quite been good enough. They certainly had a few chances to do that.
Can they get the right delivery this time? Height of court. Wilson from the back. It's a good enough punch by Elliott, the goalkeeper.
Yeah, this is a better corner coming in. Rob Elliott, that's all he can do. Too risky to try and catch it. Our court's very close there. Been in Brentford since the goal.
Maybe significant. They've not carved out anything that clear-cut as yet. It's been good defending by Charlton. Of course, Phil Parkinson did very well, didn't he, in his early days as a manager with Colchester in this division when he had Chris Iwelumo in the team, among others. I think Greg Halford was there. He's gone up to now playing in the Premier League with Wolves. O'Connor, Brentford's longest-serving player, his 11th season with the club. Taylor. Hunt trying to play this into the space here for Fraser, the right back. Was there a hand in there? Fraser pulls it back anyway. Oh, they were really stretched there. There might still be something for O'Connor. It ends up being a corner kick. But Charlton were at 6s and 7s there.
Well, a great tackle in the end from Semedo, but the ball's bouncing around. It's inside the box. Nicky Bailey's not sure where it is. He sticks his arm out. It hits his arm. And I've seen them given. Referee feeling it wasn't enough, maybe wasn't intentional. You just see here again, someone who's perhaps not quite used to being in the box, and he kind of makes the movement with his arm. Definitely seen them given.
That could have been a penalty. Another set piece. Charlton under pressure, the leaders here. Sam Saunders again. Nobody on that near post for Brentford. Can't get out, Charlton at the moment. hampering collision between Hugo and Saunders on this side. He's come out to the right side, which is where we thought he was going to start this lunchtime.
Well, let's have another look at the penalty shouts. And Brentford have been excellent, haven't they, since the goal? And you can just see here, he's out there with Foster. He sticks his arm out. And for me, that is a penalty. I think he can count himself very lucky. The ball's bounced. It's a horrible ball to be... You can see you've got Foster sort of pushing him a little bit. Maybe he's feeling there was a little push on his back, but his arm definitely makes a movement towards the ball, and for me, that's a penalty.
At the other end, here's Lloyd Sam. Back to Fraser Richardson, who was given his Leeds debut by Terry Venables. Seems a long time ago now. Last time Charlton were in this division, they did bounce back at the first time of asking, but they did have a certain Paul Walsh in the side then. He wasn't half bad. Goodness knows what he's doing now.
Haven't got a clue, Ian. He was some player. Didn't last long at Charlton, mind. He was always heading for the top.
And the corner by Taylor's drifted out to the other side now. Push there on Phillips. Clearly asked by the manager this morning, he okay to play after not training all week, but typical of him. Good throw. Yeah, I'll be there, boss. And he is too. Might be hurting a little, that ankle. He's under pressure here from Bailey, who's got past him quite easily there. Bailey pulls it back. Burton nearly turned it in. Important block in there. I think it was Wilson who managed to get in the way. Here's Hugo. Bailey. Bit of cut and thrust about this at the moment. Just get the impression, Scott, with Charlton, there's a fair bit of invention about them, isn't there, which might be a problem for most teams in this division.
Yeah, I think in terms of certainly the best 11, and of course they've obviously brought in a few players on deadline day as well. They will be one of the best teams, but for me, they're just not getting the ball down and playing. We talked about how big Brentford are, and they're, especially with Burton just on his own up front, those long balls to him are not going to do Charlton any good at all. John Joe Shelvey and the likes of Terry Rackon have got to get on the ball and get passing, and you can just see that's what they're trying to do now. Shelvey not happy, he's dropping off, not realises he's not seen much of the ball. He just needs a few touches.
Semedo feeding it wide. Big mate of Cristiano Ronaldo, they tell me. Seems improbable that he might be watching the game somewhere in Spain, but you never know. Here's Lloyd Sam. What about volleying that for a moment? Again, giving problems for Wood over there. He's a handful, Sam. By Wilson, and he's put Brentford back under pressure. Bailey chipping one in behind for Sam. Burton again, so experienced, nomadic career, playing against one of his old clubs, but that probably happens most weeks. It's Shelvey. Good football this from Charlton. Probing. Shelvey, Burton around the corner, Lloyd Sam right through, solo goal, beautifully done, Charlton 2-0 up, and that was a quite brilliant goal.
Well, I've just been saying about how they need to get the ball down and pass it. Brentford have been excellent since Charlton scored that first goal. I've not seen enough of the Charlton midfield, just getting hold of the ball, little 5-10 yard passes. And this is exactly what they're doing. This is wonderful football. 1-2 touch stuff. Keep the ball moving. Shelvey getting on the ball. A little bit of luck there. But great skill from Lloyd Sam and a very, very composed finish. Once he got that one-on-one, you knew the ball was only ended up in the back of the net. Little nutmegs there, giving Lewis Price no chance whatsoever. Best bit of football we've seen so far from Charlton, and that's the type of thing they need to be doing.
A really, really good goal. 20 months without a goal, 2 last week, 1 this. He is flying at the moment.
Well, Phil Parkinson was actually saying that when he was taken off a couple of weeks ago here against Walsall and Scott Wagstaff came on and scored the 2nd goal, that seemed to give him a little bit of a boost, and he went and scored 2 against Tranmere. He's been on fire today.
Very tough for Brentford now. It was a sublime piece of football from the leaders in this division. Hunt round the corner, good looking ball in towards Carl Court, and Charlton get the free kick.
Well, this is a wonderful ball in. No, that's not offside. Very good decision. You just see Carl Court, how desperate he is to try and get on the goal, on the score sheet. Been injured, hasn't got the contract to the end of the season. Desperate to trying to get a goal today and get Brentford back into the side. Well, Parkinson would be delighted with the scoreline, but really, since the 1st goal and up until the 2nd, Brentford have been the better side.
Wood with more defending to do, without carving out anything that clear-cut, it should be said.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that in terms of possession, they were doing very well, but the big 2 at the back, Lera and also Christian Daly defending exceptionally well.
Bailey. Good hold-up play from Carl Court, looking to get Weston in behind here. But Daly, so experienced, Scottish international, reads everything back there. And so far this season for John, the reading's been of a very good book. Now the referee here, what's he going to give here? Calling O'Connor over towards him. Burton was the player down.
Well, this is just pure frustration. Just a horrible tackle, that. I'm thinking probably come out with a yellow, but you can just see with the stud showing, Burton could easily have been a really serious injury there.
It was at least yellow, wasn't it? For Kevin O'Connor, the Brentford skipper.
Well, it was pure frustration. 15 passes in that goal with Charlton. Been passing around there, and I think O'Connor just wanted to make sure he got a good tackle in. And that was very ill-timed.
Shelby chipped up towards Christian Daly. Good header down into the danger area from him. Burton still wants to come back on. He hasn't been waved back on by the referee. Whoa. Now, what's the referee going to give this time? It's Cleveland Taylor with the latest robust challenge to frustration boiling over for Brentford.
Again here, just gets a little bit of a touch. Nicky Bailey, and Cleveland Taylor catches him. It's like he gets a little bit of a touch of the ball first and follows through. Not a red card for me, that's a yellow. Definite foul, even though he got a little bit of a touch. Certainly cleaned out Nicky Bailey there.
Well, it was up so late there, really. It was almost next week. There's a yellow, 2 in the space of a couple of minutes as Cleveland Taylor and Kevin O'Connor both in the book for Brentford, who just have to keep their heads and discipline a little here.
I think it's maybe a sign that maybe at 1-0 they felt they were still in the game. At 2-0, it's going to be very difficult to get back.
It'll be harder with 10 men. Goes a long ways. Very well defended there. Daly tried to turn it back in again. Fraser, another of the arrivals from Dagenham into Weston. 3 players arrived from Dagenham in the summer, Brentford. The other one, Ben Strevens, apart from Sam Saunders, is on the ball now. Strevens broke his leg pre-season. Good work, Cleveland Taylor. Something here, maybe. He went for the shot from what looked a near impossible angle.
Well, we talked about how they might be switching over wings, and certainly finds himself on the left. Great skill here, getting past Richardson. You just see Miles Weston just peeling off there, wanting the ball. And that's very selfish there. Great skill, going past Richardson. What do? You look up, still feel, again, maybe a little bit of frustration. Really should have tried to just lay it back there to Weston, who was there. In the end, went for the shot. Good defending.
Burton with the header on. Shelby with the little back heel, hoping something might accrue from that. Nice, lovely footwork there from Carl Court. It really was. Nice little cameo. Something at least for the Brentford fans to enjoy. There hasn't been an awful lot. They felt the scoring power of the League One leaders here. International football today to look forward to on Sky Sports. Scotland against Macedonia from 2:30. Sky Sports 1. And HD1, of course, and the Republic of Ireland in action in Cyprus tonight from 7:30. Same channels. Good luck to both of those sides, of course. He's a former Scottish international. No doubt be settling down to watch that later on. Christian Daly. A few famous days in a Scottish shirt, Christian Daly. 67 caps in all. Might get another phone call soon, the way he's going. Nicely played by Semedo. Fair few of these Charlton players were here last season. They were not often regulars in the side for one reason or another. Wilson forward, his Court, trying to pick up his strike partner, Miles Weston. So far those two not quite really with their chemistry to trouble that Charlton defence. Here's Weston using his pace, goalkeeper off his line. For a moment there he could have lobbed him, he had Court in support as well. Still might be something. David Hunt. Brentford needs something. Taylor. Good looking ball in, oh, and he's missed it. Carl Court, wonderful chance there to put Brentford back in the game.
Well, that was a wonderful chance, wasn't it, from Carl Court. Talked about how desperate he is to try and get in the score sheet. Great ball in from Taylor. Daly and Yera can't do anything about that at all. And there he is, 6 yards out. There's a little bit of pressure on him, but he's got to hit the target there. He hit the target, it's 2-1.
Has only got 1 league goal in the last 3 seasons, Carl Court. A lot of injuries along the way. And that could have been a big moment for him there. It would have been his first goal for Brentford. Wonderful opportunity.
Yeah, well, since the second goal, that is, it's been all Charlton, really. So I think just going into half-time at 2-1 would have given them a massive boost, Brentford.
Bailey. A bit too much on the cross. He used him as a central midfielder last season, Bailey, this new role on the left, but he's still delivering the goals wherever you play him.
Well, I think they want Phil Parkinson wants a steady midfield in there. Semedo, who can just hold, and Terry Rackon, who's a very good central midfielder as well. But of course, Nicky Bailey was Player of the Year last year, so he has to get in the team. And perhaps at the beginning of the season, if you'd have said to him, play on the left, he may not have liked that. But I think it gives him a little bit more freedom, even so, just to get forward. And he, as I say, he scored 3 goals already.
Charlton on course to continue their 100% start to the season. This is the best start they've made in their 88 years of league football. Last season now just a bad memory for the Charlton fans. But I do remember they were moaning and groaning about being in the middle of the Premier League when Alan Kirbishley was here. What they'd give for that.
No one seems to come out and admit that now, do they?
No, but I remember, I saw some of those games. Fans getting a bit restless, even bored, maybe taking the top flight for granted. There's a lesson for fans everywhere with that, isn't there?
Be careful what you wish for. It is a fantastic club. I spent 7 years here, but it's interesting. Of course, being in the 3rd tier of the English League, I don't think Charlton fans will be wanting to be here.
Sam again.
And it's just interesting.
Wood.
Sorry, and it's just interesting whether the fans actually want to see their team almost losing week in, week out at a higher division, or winning regularly in a lower division. It's as I say, I think we're talking about the Premier League and the Championship. Maybe it's a difficult one to call, but certainly Charlton feel they should be at least in the Championship.
Very unlike this, they will be back there next year, but there's an awful lot of football left in this division yet. Another 40 games after today. The late and wonderful Sir Bobby Robson saying don't take any notice of the league tables until the end of October. Still useful points on the board, mind you, whatever happens the rest of the season. Here's Fraser Richardson. That's a great ball in towards Burton. Wonderful ball. Foul on the goalkeeper is what's been given there. But what a lovely ball by Fraser Richardson.
Well, great play down the right. He's been another really good addition to Charlton this season. Good defender. Can whip in balls like that. Very brave from Lewis Price coming out there. Burton realised they're just trying to dive in there. Very, very strong. Just injured himself there, hasn't he?
And there's Fraser Richardson, who was with Leeds in their Premier League days, but surplus to requirements, it looked like, under Simon Grayson, which is how he's wound up here at the Valley. On a free too. A useful guy to get really for nothing, apart from his wages, of course.
Yeah, he's a very, very good player. And Burton, any striker really, at any level, would love balls like that coming in regularly. Wonderful ball in, great run down the right.
Sub-goalkeeper Nicky Bull, summer signing from Aldershot. His only game so far against Bristol City in the Carling Cup, but it looks like Lewis Price is going to be okay. Price on loan from Derby this year.
How important was that penalty decision, or non-penalty decision, by the referee with Nicky Bailey?
Yeah, went Charlton's way. Brentford could have nicked back level there. We'd be looking at a different story. They do look as if they've got goals in them, don't they, though, Charlton?
Yeah, even though they've kind of got just one striker up front. You feel with Lloyd Sam on the right, Nicky Bailey on the left, and John Joe Shelby just in behind, making a pest of himself there again. Plenty of energy, plenty of commitment, and plenty of goals.
David Hunt with another long throw here for Brentford, who will feel if they could just nick one now before half-time, it's all up for grabs again. That is a long throw, isn't it? And Dave Challoner, he was the one who started all that, wasn't it? Tranmere.
go from the halfway line, couldn't he, and stick it in the box.
It's ridiculous, really. Racon. Shelby to Racon, back to Shelby again. Nice passing football from Charlton Athletic. Bailey's instant control. Cuts inside. He's still got it as well. Racon. Few red shirts to aim at. Cut low, nobody on the near post, away by Phillips. Bailey, too long that time. I think he's just getting through this, you know, Mark Phillips at the back there for Brentford. I think he's clearly not 100% fit, and they did give him a late test, and he is playing. I think that's because they've got Bennett out as well at the moment. They needed him out there. Phillips is one of those arriving for another long throw here. In stoppage time, end of the first half. Goes a long way. Bailey gets it away, and Shelby might be able to make something of it, will he? No, not with that bounce. Charlton's youngest ever league player, John Joe Shelby. And just signed a new one-year deal, as you were hearing pre-kickoff. That's good news for Charlton. Sam Saunders. Good raid. Very good raid. Can he get that ball back? Not quite.
Well, trying to do something just before half-time. Good pace shown from Sam Saunders, but trying to get past three players is a bit much, and Christian Daly just shows him on the outside like any good defender would. There's no way he can drag that back, especially on his left foot.
Still waiting for his first Brentford goal. Saunders, plenty last season, as we were telling you, at Dagenham. Wilson won the header. Weston got the better of Lira. Saunders. Caught. Can he get on the end of this? No, Yuga gives away the corner happily. But that is half-time. There will be no corner. Charlton Athletic, 100% so far, and looking good to continue that record here for Phil Parkinson. 2-0, they lead Brentford at half-time.
Charlton good value for it as well. At times, very good in that first half here at the Valley. Dean Kiley, the former Charlton goalkeeper, is our guest. We'll get his thoughts on that first half in just a moment. Dion Burton making it his first home goal of the season. 3 for the season for him. And Lloyd Sam hadn't scored in 20 months, then 3 in a week. International football for you all the way on Sky Sports today, kicking off with Scotland's must-win game for them against Macedonia. 2:30, Sky Sports 1 and HD1. These all World Cup qualifiers, incidentally. Cyprus and Dean Kiley's former Republic of Ireland. 7:30, Sky Sports 1 later. And then we're into the South American qualifiers. Peru, Uruguay at 9:30, Sky Sports 1. Paraguay going ever so well against Bolivia, 11:30, Sky Sports 1, and the game of the night. You have to wait until 1:30 Sunday morning for Argentina and Brazil, also on Sky Sports 1. Mentioned Dean Kiley, the former Republic of Ireland and Charlton goalkeeper, watching his former team lead here at half-time against Brentford by 2-0. First time you've seen them live this year, Dean. First impressions?
Yeah, really impressed. I think they've been comfortable in the first half. I think they got, maybe in third gear, they got a couple of gears to go. So I think they got a comfortable league without really breaking sweat.
Maybe slightly fortunate to take the lead. 2 very different goals we've seen. Defensively, from Brentford's point of view, Sam Wood at left-back here. We've said he's filling in, but what should he be doing with this ball?
Yeah, well, you see, he has a little look to see what the keeper's doing, and then he realises that he's not coming. So I think now in hindsight, he wishes either shepherd it out or put it out for a corner and have the debate about who comes and who deals with what afterwards. But he did neither, really. But clever from Lloyd Sam, because he could have been greedy and took that on himself. So for him to look at Burton and slip him in for his first goal at the Valley is good play by Lloyd Sam.
Still had a bit to do there, didn't they?
Yeah, he certainly did, yeah. But like I say, I think Lloyd Sam maybe anticipated that there might have been an error and a little bit of a mix-up in communication, and I think he seized on that really well.
Like you said, Charlton weren't really in top gear at that point. Brentford seemed to be coming back at them and may have had a good shout for a penalty. We were pretty close to this, Dean. What was your thought?
Yeah, and also the linesman was really close to it. So for me, that's a penalty for the fact that Nicky Bailey's eyes are fixed on the ball and still makes a movement with his arm to divert it. So
would he argue that he's being fouled?
Well, I don't think there's much there. I think if he gets a shove in the back, then quite possibly, but there's not too much in it, and he's a big, strong boy. So for me, that's a dangerous game to play in the area, and the linesman was on that side. So for me, I think that was a penalty.
Both seem to have a pretty good view of it, didn't they? From that point, though, it's been all Charlton. How good was that second goal? You don't see it too often at this level.
No, you don't, and credit to Charlton because you know, there is a tendency sometimes to look for that ball early on and go route one, but to spend a bit of time on the ball and pick and probe. I think if you're perceived as the better of the two sides, I think then you've got to probe and make the pitch big, and they do that, and they're very patient.
They don't really come out here, Brentford.
No, that's right, because
I
think they're a little bit wary of Charlton's ability, so they sit in there and put plenty of bodies in and around the ball. But if you see when Burton finally slips Lloyd Sam in, there's 5 or 6 Brentford defenders around the ball. So there's a nice, neat little pass from Burton, and still a lot to do there. And Lloyd Sam slips his marker beautiful, and still got to put it away. And I thought it was a real good finish from Sam there.
He's in great form, isn't he? Like we said, he hadn't scored in 20 months
No,
previously.
that's right. And I was here with him when he was a young boy and had lots of potential, and he seems now just to fulfilling it. And I think maybe a season of playing week in, week out in this division will do him a world of good.
Brentford did have a pretty good chance before the half-time whistle. It falls to Carl Courtney-Man. A couple of years ago, well, you'd say certain goal.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great ball in from Taylor. I mean, the defenders are all at sea, so Court just has to put a surface on the ball. But I don't know if he's got his eyes closed or what, or if it comes to him and he's not expecting it, but certainly that would have took Brentford in at 2-1, and that would have been a better team talk for Andy Scott. But as it is, I think Charlton are comfortable.
Yeah, Brentford have it all to do. They were unbeaten coming here to the Valley today, but they trailed by 2-0, and Andy Scott has his work cut out. Happy times, though, these for Phil Parkinson. Not just live football for you today on Sky Sports. The live tennis continues from the US Open. Andy Murray safely through last night. Continues at 4 o'clock, Sky Sports 2 and HD2. It's been lively, this London derby. What do you expect? 2 unbeaten sides as well who've started League One very well. Charlton on course for their 6th straight win here, thanks to that moment of madness from Sam Wood. Tidy finish from Burton and a well-worked second goal that would have lit up any stage. Lloyd Sam with his 3rd goal of the season. All watched by a very impressed Dean Carley. Not sure about that dancing, though, are we, Dean?
The dancing or the boots, no.
No, green boots, you have to be good, and he is at the moment,
yes,
luckily for him. Where did Brentford go from here? 2-0 down?
Well, I think their team talk will have to be, you know, I don't think they can settle for what they've got because they haven't got anything, you know, so they might have to be a bit expansive or maybe a bit more direct. I think with people like McDonald and Cabra on the bench, you know, they have a chance maybe to stretch the game and try and get in behind Charlton, which they haven't done as yet, so it'll be interesting, but certainly the first 15 minutes will... I think decide this encounter.
Is it a tricky kind of league, 2-0? I mean, what will Phil Parkinson have been saying to his players?
Well, it is. I mean, do they stick or do they twist? But for me, with what he's got at his disposal, Parkinson, I think they should go for it because you know, they can rack up some goals. It breeds a bit of confidence. It'd be a really impressive home win. So for me, and as a spectacle, I'm obviously hoping that they play still expansive and there's a few more goals in this yet.
Yeah, hopefully more of the same. It's been end-to-end stuff at times. And let's get back to our commentary team. Scott Minto and Ian Dark.
Thank you very much indeed, fellas. This is a bit of a jinx ground for Brentford. They've lost the last 9 times they've played at the Valley in all competitions. Their only win here ever was in 1926, the year of the general strike, when Stanley Baldwin was Prime Minister and George V was on the throne.
Don't tell me you're around then, Ian.
Yeah, we did those live. Brentford getting us underway in their change strip at the start of the second half. Needing 2 goals from somewhere to get back into the argument here. Big game in this division up at the top as well later on today. MK Dons playing Huddersfield, third against fourth in the early table. Leeds at home to Stockport today. Leeds 100% as well so far, like Charlton. Sharvey got the little flick on there, the 17-year-old. Semedo. And Racon doing a steady job in the centre of the midfield for Charlton Athletic, providing the anchor for the, well, flair players, should we put it that way, ahead of them to play. Burton scoring against his old club today, one of many old clubs of his. Sam again, expertly found. Richardson looking for the right kind of delivery, just a little too long there for Thierry Racon, who'd arrived at the back post.
Well, you can see that Phil Parkinson's wanting his team to do exactly the same again. Get the ball to Lloyd Sam as much as possible. This time, Sam Wood was getting a little bit of help, and that's what you want as a left-back. If you're having a little bit of a tough time, you tell your left winger to come back and help you. That does free up Richardson. Good ball in. Very unlucky at the far post, a little bit too high.
And Semedo deemed to have been fouled there, and looks like he wants a bit of treatment as well. The midfield player, who was signed from Sporting Lisbon, is in his third season at Charlton.
Yeah, Cleveland Taylor just needs to be a little bit careful with his tackles. Also, he was booked in the first half. He didn't deserve a booking at all, but the referee can just chalk it up in his mind.
He's on thin ice, that's for certain. Sam, good spring to win the header as well. Every time they can give him the ball, they're doing that, Charlton. And he stood up a decent-looking cross there. Bailey was arriving, and the goalkeeper doing very well there, Lewis Price, to claw it away. Here he is again. Man of the match performance so far from the winger. Setting up one goal, scoring the other. A splendid solo effort. Racon. It's a great ball from Fraser Richardson. Sensational ball to find Bailey. Really was. Can Bailey finish it all off? Still in play. Rolls it back. Burton on the turn is wondering how he didn't do a little better than that.
Well, I was just looking at Nicky Bailey. He was there, just pulling out. I don't think he believed Richardson could actually hit him. Wonderful pass there, crossfield pass. Good play down the outside. Managed to just keep it in because he's not going to shoot from there. And Dion Burton, well, that's a wonderful chance for him. He'll be really disappointed he's not hit the target there. Great play from Bailey. 7 yards out. He hit the target, that's 3-0. That would be game over.
Just in little cameos, Charlton have played some terrific football at times here to illuminate the occasion.
Well, that's what they need to do, need to get the ball down. Of course, that was a wonderful 50-yard pass, but I just think the times we have seen them get the ball in midfield, the likes of Shelby, Semedo and Racon, just outplaying Brentford in the middle of midfield. Brentford, to be fair, haven't played particularly bad. Just one mistake. Then obviously great play from Charlton. I think Andy Scott will be thinking, yeah, perhaps maybe the day we're going to get beaten. It's not over. We know that at the Valley, certainly last season anyway, although this does look a bit of a different side, even though when they went 2-0 up, they concede that goal, and suddenly everyone starts to get a bit nervous, and perhaps could end up conceding a second as well.
I just get the feeling there's a slightly different mentality at the moment about Charlton. Richardson thought he was foul there. None of the officials did. Weston, who was a Charlton trainee, by the way, did well there. That's offside against Carl Court. It looked tightish.
Yeah, it was offside for me, Justin. He shouldn't be. He should be looking across the line. You can see there, maybe just half a yard. Kelly Hugan making sure that he plays him offside. As I say, Colcourt should be looking along the line, making sure he stays onside, because he would have been in there.
I said it was tight. It wasn't actually, was it? He was well offside. Daly plays it up towards Burton. Phillips wins the header. Bailey wanting to add to his prodigious goal tally.
Well, you do just feel, don't you, a goal now would kill the game. Brentford, no coming back. Charlton certainly going for the throw. I think you're right, Ian. It does look a bit of a different mentality here at the Valley this year than last. Another opportunity to try and get a goal.
Shelby to deliver. It's easy enough for the goalkeeper, Lewis Price. Played in Wales' most recent international against Montenegro, Price. Shelby lost possession that time. Cleveland Taylor. Miles Weston promising this. Foster arriving from the back. Taylor once again. And Weston trying to make something out of nothing over there. They'll get the corner, Brentford.
I think John Joe Shelby didn't realise Weston was there. Just trying to let it out. Suddenly he pops up. Could have been even worse than a corner.
Just one Brentford goal changes the scenario totally here, you feel. Suddenly they'd have something to really bite at. Taylor's persistence really has won this corner kick. Goalkeeper missed it completely. Phillips was there behind him and took a deflection off a Charlton head last, according to the referee.
He's missed this completely. Got a bit of a deflection there. Poor goalkeeping from Elliott. He needs to keep on his toes. Not had a lot to do so far in the game. Needs to make sure you don't make mistakes.
Just one or two lapses in concentration back there at the moment for Charlton Athletic. And it's a goal kick now, thanks to Bailey's work on the near post. All the Brentford fans are gathered in that goal that their side are attacking in the second half, trying to suck one in. Good turnout of Brentford supporters, as you'd expect for a London derby, an attractive game for them. Sharpie with the little head on towards Dion Burton. O'Connor got in there, and then referees not happy and has given Brentford a free kick. Christian Daly beating Carl Court in the air. Here's Kevin O'Connor. Wilson. Cut out by Racon, is on the ball again here. Nice football again. Sweet stuff from Charlton. Still is too, isn't it? Racon. Burton waiting in there. Lovely move. Just like the end product.
Well, it's wonderful football from Charlton. Great one-touch play. Good ball from Shelby. This time it's Racon making the run down the right, and you can just see him looking at Dion Burton going to the near post like any good striker would. Just played it a little bit too much ahead of him. Great play from Charlton. That's what they need to do, try and stretch the play, but also a little 1-2 touch passing and try and get that third goal. Brentford, I think they need to get their foot on the ball. They've not been able to do that since the start of the second half. You just wonder in the next 5-10 minutes, maybe Andy Scott will be thinking he needs to change things.
He's thinking. And what can I do? They're a bit short of options that they do have. Charlie McDonald, who's been out since March, the top scorer in their League Two promotion campaign last year, but it'd be asking a lot to expect him to come back after 6 months out and be a big influence in a game like this up at the top of the table, but you never know. He's aching for the chance, and the boss must be considering it.
Yeah, there's also Steve Cabra who can come on, has got a lot of pace, likes the ball over the top. Something maybe the two centre-halves for Charlton won't enjoy. I'd be very surprised if in the next 5 or 10 minutes he doesn't make some kind of change. You'd
think so, wouldn't you? Cabra perhaps the first candidate. I think you're right, Scott. Be a question of how many minutes really could McDonald be realistically expected to play after so long out. Maybe 15, 20, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that's probably what he's thinking. Maybe the likes of others 2-0 down, they've got to go for it. It's as simple as that. For me, I'd put on Cabra pretty much now. Try and change things. And then if they maybe get one back to 2-1, just need another goal. Charlie McDonald, last 10, 15 minutes, see if he can conjure up anything.
Daly won it back again. Not really put a foot wrong back there. Loose pass that time from Shelby. Clattering collision between Uger and Cleveland Taylor, and it's going to be Brentford's ball.
I think Uger realised the ball had gone past him.
Taylor pulls it back. Weston! Chance for a goal against his old club. Couldn't finish it, and Brentford needed him to.
Well, great play by Brentford, just taking a quick free kick, very sloppy, lack of concentration by Charlton. The ball was in, he's just cut back in there, Lera can't get there, 10 yards out. Again, you're not going to get too many chances like that here at the Valley. Got to be hitting the target. How many times have we said that? A couple of really good chances Brentford have had now to get back into the game, and that's a very poor miss.
You look at that one, and the Carl Court miss in the first half.
They are the two major chances, and for all Charlton's dominance, we could be talking about 2-2 here.
Big moments in the game, no doubt about it. Flag stayed down there. It's funny that, because Dion Burton was in eye contact with the linesman, looking, expecting the flag to go up, which it never did. He was quivering with the hand, but didn't put it up. He went for head tennis for a moment in there. Richardson, another smashing ball from him to find Dion Burton. He's had an outstanding game, the former Leeds man at right back for Charlton today. Here's Sam Saunders, back in a part of the world he knows very well. Saunders had a lot of non-league football in this area. Nicky Bailey. Good one-touch football from Charlton Athletic. They're just oozing confidence with their attacking moves. It's easy on the eye as well, Scott, isn't it?
Well, Phil Parkins has done a great job here, hasn't he? Changed it around. People may be saying that they're in League One, should go 4-4-2.
Smashing ball from Bailey to Racon. Shelby! Wide. Another move that deserved a goal but didn't get it.
Well, this is why you're willing to put him in this position. It's such a big responsibility to have someone like him just off the front man, but he can find space. That's a decent strike. Good technique. Just unfortunately not hit the target. That, without a doubt, would have been game over.
It's the one goal so far this season for John Joe Shelby in the win at Leyton Orient.
It's incredible, isn't it? Charlton on target, 2 attempts, 2 goals. Brentford had a couple of chances, a couple of very good chances, not even hit the target.
It's one of the managerial cliches, isn't it, that 2-0 is a dangerous lead in football, but it's not quite as dangerous as being 2-0 down.
You take it, wouldn't you? You take it every game.
Yeah.
But it just goes to show how clinical Charlton are, especially in this division. How much confidence they're playing with.
Difficult moment for Wood, it bounced past him, but good covering there from James Charlton, the man on loan from Bristol City.
Yet another great ball from Fraser Richardson, knowing exactly what he's wanting to do. They struck up a really good partnership down the right-hand side. So it's only the 6th game of the season, but the two of them, Lloyd, Sam and Richardson, look like they defend together, attack together. I tell you, as a fullback, that's so important.
Shelby with the corner kick. Burton tried something, didn't quite come off. Lacon, lovely weighted ball. Shelby, time to pick his spot really, but Brentford's covering was good enough. Saunders looking to get one in behind Richardson, he does too. For Western, lovely ball in. Well cut out there by Lera. Richardson tried to keep it in. I think Charlton were quite happy to concede the corner, really. I'm not sure they wanted it kept in and put back into that area, but it'll be a corner for Brentford anyway.
Well, Brentford aren't giving up the chase, are they? Western making a nuisance of himself. That's a really good ball. No one in there.
No one went to the near post, did they, for him? Otherwise, Brentford might have been in business. Had their moments here, Brentford. Foster's angled ball. And Bailey, starting wide left midfield, is in the right back position defending this time.
Well, it just goes to show how much they're working for each other. They really believe they've got a chance of a fantastic season. Paul Parkinson saying, yeah, of course, we know it's only the start of the season. Still plenty to go, but it's been a great start so far.
Defender Carly Osborne being prepared for action. And the ball is kicked up into the stand. They're just working out exactly what they're going to do, and all will be revealed shortly.
I'm just trying to work out exactly what they're going to do. With it being a defender and 2-0 down, do you stick him at the back and maybe go 3 at the back, tell the fullbacks to push on, or do you just stick him up front? He's a big guy, will be dangerous in set pieces. Maybe just get the ball up there.
Just wondering as well if Phillips is okay as well, because he was touch and go for this game. Defending to do here. It's not giving any distress signals, to be fair. Mark Phillips at the back there. So we shall wait and see what Andy Scott's plans are. Feature of this game has been how well Charlton have passed the ball.
Well, when they have, they've looked dominant. There were times in the first half where they didn't, and Brentford seemed to have had the possession. And not without creating too many chances, but when they've got the ball down, Charlton, they look very, very dangerous.
Burton with a little flick on. Here's Sam Wood. Love to get forward down that left-hand side. His more natural habitat. But no Ryan Dixon at the moment, so he has to fill in at left back. Hugo up towards Burton. Semedo, just to Lacon, who was with Guingamp in France with Didier Drogba, with whom he maintains his friendship even now. Text messages and the like.
Maybe he's watching this game today.
25 minutes for Brentford to do something about that scoreline. Top left, Charlton, 2 goals to the good. So off comes the right back here. Foster, the former Dagenham player, Carly Osborne, is introduced. Looks like he's going straight into the right back position, is he? Or is he's having a word with O'Connor, who can also play right back, incidentally. In fact, he's played every position bar goalkeeper for Brentford in his time with the club. And looks like Saunders is coming off, is he, as well? And on comes Charlie McDonald, the top scorer last season for Brentford in League Two. Been out with a dislocated shoulder, suffered against Gillingham as long ago as March. It's taken a long time to mend. If they can get him on the end of a chance or two, maybe there's still something left in this game for Brentford.
Yeah, Brentford very unlucky last season with injuries to their strikers, but still managed to go up. Charlie McDonald maybe desperate to score here at the Valley.
Got 18 goals last season in League Two. Another Hunt long throw. Back in by Wood. Now it's a Brentford free kick, some 30 yards out.
Not a lot going on there, really.
Sam Saunders to take it. Very long and too easy for the goalkeeper, really, although Wilson was up from the back. Richardson into Burton. Kelly Yuga. Now Nicky Bailey. Beats Osborne quite easily down that side. It goes a long way. Wood under pressure, can't really clear it. And Fraser Richardson. Oh, terrific play from him. He finds Sam. It's too long this time. Wood to O'Connor. Here's Saunders. Will he get another bite at it against Richardson there? No.
Defending yet again, and another real good ball out, setting up another attack.
Thierry Racon. Gets it back again. Shelby wants it and gets it. Bailey almost invited to shoot, which he does. Would have had to be a bit of a special from out there. Well, on that Charlton bench, they do have Tamir Tuna, a 17-year-old who came on last week at Tranmere. A Londoner with Turkish parents, who they're quite excited about. We might get a glimpse of him before this is over. Yuga again. Burton. Charlton, who fielded the same team in every league game so far. Need a bit of luck as well with that, but it's a tribute to the fitness and conditioning of the players. Long for Carl Cork, cut out by Christian Daly. Shelby from long range. You saw the goalkeeper off his line. What a quick piece of thinking by the youngster there. He saw something really that no one else in the ground had spotted.
Well, I was thinking he should have played Dion Burton. Dion Burton would have had a one-on-one situation, but it just shows the confidence of the youngster. Looking up, trying to be a little bit cheeky. Execution not quite there, but what a talent.
And quite a talent too, getting a standing ovation here. Lloyd Sam, he set up one goal, he scored the other. Great goal it was, like this.
Yeah, really good finish, had a great game. A little bit surprised, it's come off. And to say it's still 2-0, I talked about how that can be a little bit awkward. I'd be delighted with the fact that it is 2-0, but if Brentford do somehow nick a goal in the next 5-10 minutes, you want Lloyd Sam to be on the pitch, really, just to give you that kind of really injection of pace that he's shown throughout the whole game.
Scott Wagstaff, who scored against Walsall in the win here, who comes on, the 19-year-old from, well, Charlton country in the Kent hinterland. From Maidstone he is. So he gets a chance out on the right side. Brentford keep plugging away, hoping something might break for them. James Wilson up from the back. This might stay in play for Weston. It'll be a corner, I think, if it goes, and it has. They want a quick one. Saunders thought a bit quicker than Weston there. He got it in the end. Back to Miles Weston. Into the danger zone, and this time a splendid save from Rob Elliott to deny Carl Cork. And Brentford still can't get it in the back of that net.
Well, this is what I was saying about Brentford to get the goal. Could make things very interesting in the last 20 minutes. Great ball in. And that's a wonderful header from Carl Cork. He's hit the target. Great save from Rob Elliott.
To keep the two-goal cushion, but here's a corner kick. Easily cleared by Bailey. Well, Carl Cork was unlucky that time. It was a splendid header. Brilliant save from boyhood Charlton fan. Now in their first team, Rob Elliott. Even better when you think how little he's really had to do as well.
Well, we saw him come out on one of the corners and he missed it completely, and that maybe he just had a little word with himself, keep concentrated. It's a very good save, very strong hands there. Carl Cork, we talked about how desperate he will be to be scoring a goal. At least he hit the target this time. If they do get that goal, as I say, it could be very interesting last 15, 17 minutes.
I'm sure that Andy Scott, the Brentford manager, is thinking we should have put one of these in somewhere along the line, but they haven't. Now Rob Elliott, very much the hero at the moment for the Charlton fans because of this.
Yeah, you can just see Carl Cork getting in front of Lera there, hitting the target. That's all he can do. He didn't do it in the first half, did it there? Great save from Rob Elliott.
He only made his league debut last season in a game we were here for against Derby County. That was like Derby was stuck in the Blackwall Tunnel and ended up arriving on the Woolwich Ferry. To rather bemused Paul Jewell. And
at least he arrived. It'll take a long time, that Woolwich Ferry.
They weren't expecting a river crossing, I don't think.
But you're right though, Ian. I think Andy Scott will be thinking, yeah, maybe we've been a little bit outplayed here. We've created some really good chances. Should at least have scored one, put a bit more pressure on the Charlton back line. As I say, 2-1, this game on. Around here at the Valley, they're used to being ahead and then maybe just conceding a couple of goals and getting a little bit nervous. That's what Brentford need to do. They need to get that goal within the next 5 or 10 minutes and just see how the back four of Charlton will deal with that.
McDonald there was chasing and hoping, but Elliott was out quickly again. course, we've talked about Brentford missing a couple of chances, but Charlton have 2, we should say, 2 in this half. They might feel they might have had 4. Kind of game.
Yeah, John Joe Shelvey and Dion Burton as well. Just a really good opportunity.
McDonald. Here's Wagstaff, the 19-year-old substitute. Fans always love teenagers who've come through and get a chance. Here he is on the ball again. Much brighter times ahead, perhaps, for Charlton, though there's no takeover as yet. 1 or 2 people have been interested and then went away again. I think it's not a state secret that they're looking to sell. Current owners.
Well, it's close. Good ball there. Just half a yard offside there. Good run from Dion Burton, though. The idea was right.
And that's the first error I can recall Fraser Richardson making, and we're in, what is it, the 77th minute.
Yeah, he's had an excellent game. Very strong defensively, got forward well, worked well with Lloyd Sam. And some wonderful passing as well.
I'm surprised the referee is happy with that outfit that Rob Elliott's wearing. It's very similar to in colour to the Charlton shirt, but I'm probably being a bit picky.
Well, I'm not happy with it.
Fashion-wise, you mean?
Yeah, not the best of colours.
Dodgy outfit. Wagstaff is the player penalised. It's Brentford who get the free kick. Great game coming up for you. Don't miss this one in the Championship. Cardiff City and Newcastle, both of whom have started really well. Next Sunday, 2 o'clock. Sky Sports 1 and HD 1. Really attractive looking game. Good ball in that from Miles Weston. Leaning on there, and Charlton get the free kick. McDonald penalised.
This is really good defending from Lera. As a good central defender is, just at the near post, making sure his striker doesn't get in front of him. That's what the striker wants to do. And he's such a big guy, very difficult to do that. He's been excellent. Him and Christian Daly at the back. We talked about Fraser Richardson. And of course, Kelly Hugo, I must talk about him. He's got forward well. Back four looking very solid this season.
Phillips let it bounce. That caused a problem, but he was first onto the scene afterwards. Well, the goalkeeper's kick actually hit Shelby there. It might have ended up anywhere. Difficult one, that, for Daly to deal with. Lera was there to help him out. Those two forming a good understanding. Sam Wood. Weston, Wood again. Did well, they get the corner. It's a spirited effort this from Brentford to try to retrieve things late on.
Yeah, Andy Scott will be delighted with the commitment and the passion they put in. Just perhaps the final ball's not been good enough, and even when it has, they've not hit the target. He won't be disappointed with the performance.
Carly Osborne playing it forward. Here's David Hunt. Looks like it should be the goalkeepers. He didn't quite get there, though, and Christian Daly had to help him out. It's another Brentford corner. Brentford fans behind that goal, urging their side to get the goal that they need to set up a bit of a finish here. Osborne again. The goalkeeper had come for that, but Lera headed it anyway. Wasn't going to take the chance. clearly didn't get a call. Shelby. This 4-4-1-1 system seems to be the one that Phil Parkinson favours for Charlton Athletic. It's worked for them so far. Richardson plays it in. Rackon, he's claiming that hit the hand of Phillips, but that could not have been intentional. Not in a million years, really. Wood. Saunders. He's got the free kick, and Bailey's saying, well, I didn't touch him, really.
Well, he may be saying he didn't touch him, but he did. There's a little bit of collision there. And of course, he should know that as soon as Saunders gets that touch, he'll probably go down thinking right in front of the goal. Maybe a little bit too far out for them, 30, 35 yards out. But certainly right in front of the goal. He will go down with the slice of the touches.
Eyes on McLeod to replace John Joe Shelby for the last 8 minutes or so here. Shelby obviously with a huge fan club, as you'd expect, at the Valley, and a few admirers outside the Valley too.
Yeah, well, he's got to manage him, and people are thinking, yeah, he'll be playing in every single game and every single minute, but he still is only 17. You don't want burnout.
Free kick specialist David Hunt, favourite maybe to hit this. It is him. It's a good one. He's hit the bar with it. Great free kick. Brentford unlucky. O'Connor. And that'll be easy enough to handle. McDonald got the final touch.
Well, he's got a long throw in him, but he's also got a great free kick on him, David Hunt. That's a wonderful free kick. Up and down. Rob Elliott struggling to get near it. Great dip on it. As if it was going over at one stage. Very, very unlucky.
McLeod was looking to break in behind, hoping his first touch might be a goal. Had a few injury problems. Actually, he was such a big scorer for MK Dons a few seasons back. Here he is on the ball now, McLeod. Great work. He's engineered a chance here. He's taken a great save, and twice they had to get it away. In the end, Wood with the header to deny Charlton a third.
Well, that's great play from McLeod. Good strength, good determination. Hit the target. Wagstaff couldn't get on the end of it. You just see, he just comes inside. There's only one thing on his mind. He's going to try and have that shot. Maybe just would have been better just keeping it down. Decent save from Price, though.
Strong piece of play that by Isaac McLeod. Of course, when you get a start like this, everybody wants to force their way into the reckoning. McLeod's got this little cameo appearance. He wants to make it count. And Stan Kelly-Yugi gets the corner.
Well, you're right. When we talked about the 4-4-1-1 system, he'll be wanting Phil Parkinson to play a 4-4-2, and he'll be back in there. So when he does get minutes on the pitch, he needs to be proving himself, showing that he's worthy of a starting position. Certainly, it's been a very good couple of minutes for him so far.
He's only scored one league goal since he arrived at Charlton because of his problems out of the side and injuries. Phillips with a header away. He's soldiered through today, the defender. Semedo. Yuga using the sand wedge. Plenty of grass here for Miles Weston. Charlie McDonald ahead of him. Never really looked like picking him up.
Well, it's difficult. What Charlton did well is they got men behind the ball. See Weston trying to look up, trying to play in Charlie McDonald. McDonald's movement there was very, very good, but just too many players there, and it would have some kind of ball to try and put him in.
Dion Burton tries to find McLeod again. Phillips with a vital touch. Good defending.
Well, he's been excellent, and I can see why, even if he's not 100%, you want to be playing games like this, coming to the Valley, playing on the television. And that's a wonderful tackle, because if he'd mistimed that, would have been penalty and a red card.
Vital member of the promotion side, Phillips. And some sterling work there, but Charlton look as if they have a third goal in them. Goes a long way, nobody gets a touch on it. What about Brentford? Do you think they'll be okay this season in this division?
I think they'll be okay. I have to be honest, I was a little bit worried at the start of the season, even though they won the League 2 title. It's such a strong League 1 this season, but the start they've made, the couple of times that I've seen them today, I think performance-wise, they've worked very, very hard. I think they'll be fine. If they carry on playing like this, maybe mid-table, something like that, and that's something Andy Scott can be very proud of.
Saunders. This long term, they'll have loftier ambitions, Brentford, but maybe, consolidate in this division would be the #1 priority. That's Lera, the player down. Needs a bit of treatment. Sure what the problem is there. Phil Parkinson looking on, hoping he can field another unchanged side when Southampton and Alan Pardew come here for the next game. Alan Pardew returning to the Valley. Of course, Parkinson was alongside him, wasn't he, in the management team here?
Yeah, that'd be an interesting game. We just see the first goal here. Mistake by Wood. Great play by Lloyd Sam and a clinical finish by Dion Burton.
And really, from that moment, it's been tough for Brentford. A lovely solo goal. We won't see too many better goals than that in this division this season. And Lloyd Sam.
Well, that could end up being goal of the season. Just the fact 15 passes, very patient play. A lot of players involved, and a wonderful, clinical, composed finish from Lloyd Sam.
Lera's okay again, apart from still needing the headwear to protect that gashed head he received a few games ago. Weston down the line. Here's MacDonald. He's hoping to force his way back into the starting lineup pretty soon, MacDonald. Saunders turning, twisting, caught, nearly found its way through to him. Charlton scramble it away again. I'm sure Brentford will see this as a story of missed opportunities at vital moments. Carly Osborne, Saunders, MacDonald. Yuga doesn't quite cut it out, not really. Saunders again. It's another Brentford corner. They've really tried hard to ask the questions here, but so far they haven't been answered in the affirmative. And it's probably too late for them now. Up towards Court again. It just won't go in for him, will it?
Been a good battle between those two, hasn't it? Carl Court and Lera. This time Court just winning it. I think Lera does just enough. Gets close to him and makes sure that, although he wins the header, he can't get it on target. Good defending.
It was 9 years ago that Newcastle paid Wimbledon £7 million for Carl Court.
It'll be a handful if he can get himself fit. It'll be a very good acquisition for Andy Scott's Brentford this season. He's shown glimpses that he can get himself in the right positions, and then it's just a little bit of practice, a little bit of game time, and you hit the target, you score goals.
He did miss one glaring chance, his fault, but denied a goal by a brilliant save from the goalkeeper midway through this half. It was a vital moment, huge moment that really in the game, with Elliott producing an outstanding save. 3 minutes of added time here, and that's all Brentford have got left. Hunt, who hit the bar with a free kick with the long throw this time. Bit of a comedy of errors. Referee sees nothing wrong. Wood from a long way out. He's looking for a chip.
Well, Sam, we're delighted just to try and get forward. It's been a difficult afternoon for him. Very good left foot, but he's not going to chip Rob Elliott from there. He's worked hard. Maybe a little bit unfair to put him at left back against Lloyd Sam, who's going to be one of the best right wingers, certainly in this division. I think he'll do well, play a much higher level. Definitely the Championship. We'll be thinking he's still got time for the Premier League. Certainly it's been a very tough afternoon for him.
He's on McLeod, but he's offside. That's not going to count. Flag was up straight away. Oh, he wanted that one so badly, and he finished it off very well. I think he only realised he was offside after the ball was in the net.
Well, he did. I think he realised that's very, very close. But he is offside. A very clinical finish.
McDonald, he's fouled by Lira on the edge.
Again, you just wonder whether tiredness is setting in there. Doesn't need to be making the challenge. Good turn for McDonald. He's impressed me since he's come on. Again, if he can get game time, I feel that Brentford will have goals in them this season.
One thing you couldn't accuse Brentford of here is a lack of fight.
Well, they've worked hard, and Andy Scott should be very proud of how they've played. Even at 1-0, it looked as if they could get back into this game. The second goal was a bit of a killer for them. They've never given up, and as we say, performance-wise, they played exceptionally well today.
Punt again, this time into the wall. Saunders tried so hard in the second half to make something happen for Brentford. Miles Weston, difficult bounce. Fraser Richardson doing well again. Flicked on by McDonald, but behind, and that might be just about that, really, as far as Brentford are concerned. Charlton are going to stay on top of League One. It's going to be 18 points out of 18. Heady days. They're loving it. And at the end of last season, they were wondering if they'd ever be smiling about football again.
That's the beauty of footballing.
Yep. Slate white clean, new season, new ambitions, top of the table, and it's all over. Still 100%. Phil Parkinson and Charlton Athletic. Some delightful cameos and smashing football at times from them, but Brentford pushed them pretty hard and missed some key chances, as well as hitting the bar with a David Hunt free kick. But not much doubt really that Charlton were worth their win by 2-0, featuring a really lovely goal from Lloyd Sam. Charlton still top, beat Brentford, who are beaten for the first time in the league this season by 2-0.
And you can just feel all that pain of the last couple of years drifting away here from the Valley. And Charlton go 3 clear at the top, 6 wins out of 6. Leeds in action later against Stockport can match them. Brentford just slip out of the top 6 on goal difference. Bristol Rovers gain. Well, it's World Cup qualifiers all the way this afternoon on Sky Sports and through into the early hours. Scotland and Macedonia first up, 2:30, following us here on Sky Sports 1 in high definition as well. Later, the Republic of Ireland go to Cyprus, 7:30, that's Sky Sports 1. And then we're to South America, Peru, Uruguay, 9:30, Sky Sports 1. Paraguay face Bolivia at 11:30. And the game of the night, Argentina, Brazil, 1:30 in the morning on Sky Sports 1. Analysis with Dean Kiley, the former Charlton goalkeeper, in just a moment, reflecting on what's been another very good day at the office for Phil Parkinson's side. 2 goals, both in the first half, and it's 6 of the best. Perfect start continues for Charlton. 6 wins out of 6. Lloyd Sam made the first for Dion Burton and scored the second himself. He is the man of the match. He's with Christian Daly, and both are speaking with Greg Whelan.
Well, congratulations, that's 6 wins out of 6, but Brentford did make you work hard for it in the end, didn't they?
Yeah, it was a really difficult game, actually. Probably the hardest game we've had this season. But we just kept to what we've been doing, passing the ball, and we got the 3 points. So, delighted.
Well, that's 3 goals in 2 games for you. You're making it look straightforward. How much did you enjoy the goal and the move that led to it?
No, I really enjoyed it. I mean, I didn't get a goal last season. I've always been working on it all the time. And then, I mean, that's 3-2. I'm delighted, but even more delighted with the win. And yeah, the celebration, one of my favourite songs at the minute.
Let's grab a quick word with Christian. You've come in, you've joined a club that's always been on a bit of a downward spiral the last few years. What have you actually found here, though?
Well, I found a place that was pretty vibrant, to be honest with you. I think by the time I come in, they had a pretty good pre-season. The manager had all the players I think that he wanted to have here. And we've just all gelled and stuck together. And we've got a good mix of a few experienced boys and some really talented young players. And I think in most of the games so far, we've played some pretty decent stuff. It was tough today, I must say. That's probably as tough a test as we've had. And, fair play to Brentford. They played very well. But, we stuck to our guns well there. And bar a couple of little scares that we had, I think we're worthy winners.
You've been involved in successful seasons before. How important is the right mentality at this stage?
I think it's huge. I think the mentality of the team is probably the one thing that's the biggest thing to turn around from what happened last season. There's a lot of talented players here, but it is amazing what can happen when, if the mental side just isn't quite right. And I think that's been the one thing that the managers managed and all these staff have managed to turn a lot of the boys' heads round. And when I come in, I just found a group of great lads that all just want to work for each other. And that's 6 wins out of 6. And I want to keep it going. It's still very early days, but that's a difficult thing to do when you think that 5 out of 5 last week was the best in the club's history for a start. So 6 out of 6, that's going to take some beating.
Well, congratulations to both of you. Lloyd, you're also the Powerade man of the match. Christian, if you do the honours for us, please. Well done, guys.
Yeah, cheers.
That's a big smile, isn't it, Lloyd Salmon? Goodness me, deserved that accolade today. Dean Kiley is the former Charlton goalkeeper. Where is this hangover then from the last couple of seasons?
Well, it's certainly not there at the moment, and rightly so. I think the players, and I think Christian touched on it there, is feel a responsibility that they let themselves down in the club that they played for. So I think they've come in pre-season and put it to bed, put it aside, and just want to go and do well in this division. And they've certainly started very, very strong.
Well, how big a player could Lloyd Sam be in this division for Charlton?
Huge. I mean, I was at the club when Lloyd was a young lad coming through, and he's had a few chances and he's coughed and spluttered along, but I think at this level he'd be an immense player because he's got everything really. Wingers want to get by people and put crosses into the box, and he does that very well. His delivery is good, and then also he wants to link up and join, and he's going to put himself in positions to score, and he shows his work rate there. So he's not just one of these wingers that just wants to go forward. So he's a decent player and a decent lad as well, which helps, I think, because he deserves the success that's coming his way.
He had a couple of touches in the build-up that led to his goal, which was the second for Charlton, and a real shining light in this game, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, a little bit fortunate, maybe there, but apart from that, it was a nice pass.
We'll overlook that.
Yeah, we will.
15 passes in all building up to this.
Yeah, certainly, and they dragged Brentford around the pitch and made it difficult for them. They couldn't really get too close. And even when the move comes to an end, there's 6 Brentford players around the ball, but a neat little pass and a great bit of skill here. And a tidy finish, because sometimes you just put your laces through that and hit the goalkeeper, and he makes a save. But very calm and very assured, and a decent finish that set them on the road to a good victory.
It was involved in the first goal as well, but will Brentford rue the defending that led to that?
Yeah, I think they came here, Brentford, as underdogs, so to give Charlton a lift up, which they certainly did. I mean, it's a decent ball forward, but a bit hopeful. And I think you see Wood here, have a look, is his keeper coming? Whereabouts is he? He gets lost a little bit and does neither, and presents Sam with an opportunity, which I thought he did well, because he didn't have the blinkers on and just go for a goal himself. He looked up, knew what was around him, and Burton will be pleased with that for him. It was a decent opportunity.
You wonder how far this run can keep going. Let's hear from Phil Parkinson with Greg Wheeler.
Phil, congratulations. Give us your assessment of the performance today, and particularly some of the football you played.
Yeah, obviously very pleased. It panned out how we thought, really. That when we got the ball down and played, we looked good, but we had to weather the storm on set plays and long throws and deal with that kind of play. And I thought we were strong in that department today, as well as getting the ball down and playing. And it's important to have both sides in your game, and we showed that today. Promotion, of course, is the aim. Was today an illustration of how you intend to go about it? Well, that's how we've played since the start of the season. We've got some good quality players. We look to get the ball down and play. And at times some of the football was excellent today. 6 games in, it's a long season, but so far we're pleased with what we've achieved. You've known some ups and downs already as a manager. Just on a personal level, 6 straight wins, a new club record for the start of the season. Can you take some pride in that personally? Yeah, I think everybody does. Obviously for myself it's good, but everybody at the club, you know, and I mean everybody, all the people in the offices at the Valley, at the training ground, all the board of directors, it's great what we went through last season. It was important we got off to a good start to get all the supporters behind us, and I have to say the supporters were terrific again today. And it's when you get the ball down and playing, you need the supporters to be patient with you and let the players play with confidence and belief in themselves, and that's what they're doing at the moment.
Phil, well done today.
Thank you.
Very satisfied Phil Parkinson as well, he might be. But did Brentford play their part as well here, Dean, today?
Yeah, they did. I mean, they had a go second half. They had to really come out and, you know, they had opportunities, and I think Carl Court would be disappointed that didn't hit the target. It makes it a different game, I think, if they go in 2-1 at half-time. But just failed to hit the target. But second half, certainly they did have a go. You know, I think Rob Elliott makes a decent save, you know, and got to hit the target there for me. Maybe on his weaker side, so maybe excuse him there. But they've got to hit the target. But I think this is a save coming up, and if I can just shatter a myth that that's not a decent height for a goalkeeper.
Why not?
When it's travelling at 50 mile an hour and you've only got 6 yards to react, then that's a great save from Rob Elliott. Decent free kick, caused a problem, but it wasn't to be for Brentford. So for all their toil and industry, I think Charlton still had a little bit too much overall from today's point of view.
You think Brentford will be OK, though?
I think they will, yeah, definitely. I think they'll use the momentum from coming up into the division, and it's all new to them, so they'll go to places and they'll cause problems and get the results they need, most certainly.
Dean Carney, thank you very much for being with us. You brought your former team a bit of fortune here today.